Hello and welcome to another episode of BARD Talk on Grammar and Thongs, which is where I look at the language of Shakespeare and some of the tricky things that he does with language. There is another video on Grammar and Thongs all about reversed sentence structure, and that goes into the detail of reverse sentence structure, otherwise known as anastrophe or inversion, and explains that it's basically reversing the typical word order in a sentence. Now, Shakespeare does that a lot, and so we're going to have a look at how he does that today, using Romeo and Juliet as the focus for the most part. Because we know that Shakespeare does it a lot, we know how he does it, we went through that in the last video, but the big question that remains is why does he do it? Well, there are many reasons that he does it, and I'm going to go through 4 of those today. The first one is that it can help with rhyming. There are a lot of rhyming lines in Shakespeare's plays. This is a line from Friar Lawrence in Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2, when he's talking about helping the couple to get married. And he says, "In one respect I'll thy assistant be." So the reversal is, he's saying that instead of, "In one respect I'll be your assistant." Now, you don't have to be Shakespeare to work out that it's a lot easier to rhyme with be than it is to rhyme with the word assistant. So that might explain the reversal there. Another reason to reverse the sentence structure is that it can help with the rhythm, or the metre as we call it when we're talking about Shakespeare and poetry. The metre is the rhythm of the lines, okay? And in Shakespeare, often we come across what we call iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter is this pattern in poetry that has 5 beats per line. So it kind of goes da-dum, 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 5 beats per line. Here is one of the most famous lines from Romeo and Juliet that is written in unrhymed iambic pentameter. "But soft, what light through yonder window breaks." So the beat is, "But soft, what light through yonder window breaks." If we didn't have that sentence structure reversed, and instead it said, "But soft, what light breaks through yonder window," we lose that rhythm. So sometimes it's to keep the rhythm that he reverses the sentence structure. A third reason that he might do this is because it can help with emphasis. If you want to end a line on a particular word, to emphasize that word, well, you might want to flip it around to do that. Another famous line from Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2, is when Juliet is lamenting the name and saying, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other word would smell as sweet." Now, if it said, "That which we call a rose would smell as sweet by any other word," it just wouldn't work as well, because Shakespeare wants us to end, or the actress playing Juliet to end on the word sweet. She can sort of linger over that. Okay, she's thinking about how sweet her dear, dear Romeo is. So that's for emphasis. We want to end on sweet. The fourth and final idea that I'll talk about today is that sometimes reversing the sentence structure just makes it sound better. Okay? For example, there is, this one isn't from Romeo and Juliet, it's from Hamlet, so still Shakespeare. And Shakespeare is trying to express this idea that you should neither be a borrower nor a lender. But instead of saying "don't be a borrower or a lender," he says, "neither a borrower nor a lender be." And I think you can agree that it just sounds better that way. So, these are some of the many reasons that Shakespeare will reverse sentence structure. Hopefully now that you understand them, you will appreciate them for either the way that it improves the rhyme or the rhythm, or just makes it sound better, or emphasises a particular word, and not just be annoyed that it makes it confusing. Thank you.